You know, I would thought I was done with Dragon Age. I really thought so. But apparently, I'm not. Surprising, right? Now, what I'm gonna read to you comes from the YouTuber Nuhure. It's gonna, you're gonna get the link down below in the description. And this isn't even just something I took out of his video. This is basically what Grums took out of the video, and I'm just reading that to you. Because, the lowest form of content, and it's kind of fun. So here are some points that have been discussed about Dragon Age Veilguard and the state of the game. So here are the points. The game is super woke, pronouns in your face. That was bound to be expected. We saw the top scar surgeries, so nothing really surprising there. The Qunari companion, the Qunari, as you know, things that have been retconned after retconned after retconned, that no longer are anything like they used to be. The Qunari might as well be a Ditto at this point with how much they change shapes. So the Qunari companion literally introduces themselves with the immersion-breaking modern language, I identify myself as non-binary. We always knew that Qunari have some strict societal norms with a kind of a class that can do whatever they want, with the exception of mages, because those are bad. But I never knew, and I don't think anybody ever knew, that the Qunari were desperate for attention. Now, this might just be a particular case of a Qunari that really wants the attention. Romances were and still may be gender-locked unless you choose a pronoun other than he, him. You must be pansexual or you are restricted to 2 romance options. Nivi, I have no clue who that is, and Harding. Harding I think refers to Scout Harding from Dragon Age Inquisition. It was the dwarf lady that people who didn't get to romance properly. Because I think, what was it again? The writer or the dev complained that's pedophilic. Okay, but what's even funnier is that now you can romance her, which kind of beats the first point of why she wasn't romanceable in the first game, in Inquisition. But now she has like an Adam's apple, a Madam's apple, if you wish, and that's kind of funny. I guess that's punishment for wanting to have a romance with her. Whatever. Continuing back, so only 2 romance options, Nivi and Harding, and while other choices may romance anyone, excuse me. This might have changed to Baldur's Gate 3 success and influence. I mean, I'm not that big. I was never that big into the romance aspect of Dragon Age, to be honest. So I couldn't really care about it. I find the change to Scout Harding extremely hilarious, to be honest. Again, punishment for wanting to romance her before. But yeah, I don't really care about this one. I'm sorry. Solas is sidelined hard. The problem is this sounds stupid, and I doubt this is something they kept. And if it's true, oh boy, then Dragon Age the Veilguard is even a bigger joke. For Solas to be sidelined in what was supposed to be the Dreadwolf game, remember that was the name that they had? Well, no longer apparently. It's kind of stupid. He's like the main antagonist, the driving force behind the bad things happening in Inquisition. So, it's kind of stupid to sideline him. Made into a minor character with little importance or development until suddenly important at the end of the game, and that ending is baffling and not in a good way. But no spoilers revealed, so we don't really know what the ending is, but it sounds like it's Transformers, with Starscream always likes betraying Megatron. Sounds to be like that, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of stupid that they would just do that. But then again, you look at Dragon Age and you look at a franchise that can't really keep anything consistent. Worse than World of Warcraft, to be honest. The story is disappointment after disappointment. No, really. I wasn't expecting that. Oh no, the story of Dragon Age Veilguard is disappointment after disappointment. It's not like the previous 2 installments, Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition prepared us for this. No, that didn't happen. Those are not bad installments and disappointment after disappointment story-wise. No, we're just gonna have to take it all at face value. This is like the worst the franchise has ever seen, which, granted, is true in a way. It is the worst the franchise has ever seen, but that doesn't mean the other parts weren't as bad. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it's disappointment after disappointment. Facial animation is Andromeda all over again in plastic, which Grooms I think assumes is a lot of my face is tired quality. Yeah, the resting face. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Imagine this, you invest so much money into making ultra performative games and trying to get as realistic as possible, and then just you get ugly models and characters and it all looks bad. I see, this is why games should focus more on style rather than realism. Oh no, and I just destroyed console players to this. Boo-hoo. Inquisitor? That Inquisitor? Okay, that's kind of funny. Inquisitor and Inquisition is corrupt and may not be of any help even if you didn't disband it. Choices don't matter, it's Mass Effect 3 again. So, well, granted, choices didn't matter in Telltale games either, but those were fun. And those were nice stories. This was just disappointment after disappointment, so I see the balance. But the Inquisitor and the Inquisition just being evil reminds me of what they did in Inquisition with the Grey Wardens. Granted, the Grey Wardens were corrupted to turn evil and you can save them. And while it is still tragic, it's not really this bad. Rook's sidelined, backstory wasted, just a guy in a bar, very much diminished. Okay, I don't really get this one. Might just... I think it refers Rook as the main character. Yeah, Rook is basically your character, main character, whatever. Yeah, that's your character. So basically, he's an adventurer in a tavern. The start of all D&D stories, right? Tester feedback ignored. Now that's terrible. That's tragic. That is the biggest red flag you might ever see. Because yeah, we all knew that the story was gonna suck. We all knew the woke elements are in it. But tester feedback ignored? Oh boy, that's gonna bite them. Boss said, it's a very good feedback, but I can't send it to them, the devs. It's very good, but basically you can't talk about how the woke stuff is making the game worse. It's not something you can talk about, even if it's ruining the game. They're screwed. They're so screwed for that. But, I mean, let's be honest, this whole thing with the, oh no, you can't say the woke things are making the game worse. We kinda knew this. Like, when we got the preview of the whole, I was supposed to say battle scars, chest scars things, we knew they were gonna ignore any feedback relating to that. Grey Warden Darwin. Who the hell is Grey Warden Darwin? I've never heard of him. This is like a new character they introduce? Grey Warden Darwin is a Grey Warden, a companion in the upcoming... Yeah, he's a new character. So he's not an old character. A newcomer who never finishes his training. So he never drinks the Darkspawn blood, basically. That's what you're telling me. How the hell is he a Grey Warden if he doesn't do that? Gets to influence and make important decisions for Grey Wardens solely because he is POC. Basically solely because he's black. And he gets to decide everything. That's kind of stupid, but then again, Dragon Age Inquisition was proof that they hate the Grey Wardens and how cool they are and what they mean. And if that, the whole turning them evil and whatever options you have there didn't, mess it up properly, then... I guess they're here with the Grey Warden Darwin just to stab once more into the soul and heart of Grey Wardens. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Most people hate the past. Of course, current developers for Dragon Age would hate Dragon Age Origins and what it means. No surprise there. The segment of gameplay in the Fade is a boring walking simulator with just some fetch quests. Completely wasted opportunity. Okay, that sucks, but granted, we've been to the Fade, like, what, in almost every game at this point? The Fade kinda lost its charm the moment, it's Inquisition, I'm going there again. Oh no, that is the soul of Andastri, or whatever the hell Demon Spawn is parading her carcass around. So yeah, personally, I'm not that big into the Fade. Let's be honest, we've been to the Fade so many times in the Dragon Age series, it's not as surprising anymore. But then again, the Fade is real this weird realm, where it's like a magical other realm, like another universe, but sometimes it just is the upside down from Stranger Things. I guess that's another point that, happens with Dragon Age. They can't really decide what the Fade is. Other major characters like Varric turned into mere advisors and pushed to the back of the story. Doesn't Varric die? That's a little bit weird. It's so far removed from Origins that it's crazy that it's in the same universe. So is Inquisition. And technically Inquisition has these nods to Origins that might as well not be there. You could just change those nods to something else and it's like a whole new game. Basically Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I think that's a good comparison. Inquisition is the Assassin's Creed Odyssey of the series. It might as well not have any connection to the former game. And this one just seems to prove it even more. This is the end of Bioware. The interview concludes. Final nail in the coffin of a once great studio and franchise. I'm just gonna be honest. It's time for Bioware to take the way of Westwood Studios. It happens. Not everything is meant to last forever. Human life is fleeting. And that is the truth with game studios too. At some point, unless they're big and successful that they can't fall, like Nintendo, it's better for it just to end. And I think that's the best for Bioware and Dragon Age. Funny how if their fall happens because of Dragon Age Veilguard, it's going to be like, I forgot their name, Volition? The guys that made Saints Row. You know, you make so many good things, and yeah, sure, they degrade in quality over time, but once they go out with a bang. Like they started, but with a whimper. Tragic, but alas, what can you do? Of course, I would chill right now, but nobody's gonna watch this, so what's the point?